Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Two Large and a Sarge. I'm Nancy.
I'm Tegan.
And I'm Sam. And remember, our show is rated R. It means real people, real life, talking about real topics.
You can find us Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. on Facebook, SoundCloud, or YouTube.
Let's get right into our show today. Our lovely lady Tegan. She is single and ready to mingle, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, is just dating and relationships in general. And actually, it's funny because I had a dream about you last night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Somebody's dreaming about me. And if it had to be anybody, I'm glad it's you.
Thanks, because you know it's out of love. But no,
Yes.
I had this dream last night. I don't remember all the details, but the gist of it was, apparently you had went out on quite a few dates with Mark Slaughter from the band Slaughter, the hair band Slaughter.
Yeah.
Which you stole my boyfriend, because back in the 80s, early 90s, I had posters of him everywhere on my wall. But apparently you two were dating and you were hitting it off really well. But you were really upset because he wasn't acknowledging you two as boyfriend and girlfriend. So I ended up having a conversation with Mark Slaughter. And I said, look, Mark, you got to get over whatever problems it is you have with commitment, because like she's ready, man. Like she's serious. And so he's like, yeah, I really care about her. I love her. So the rest of the dream was me finding you to tell you that Mark Slaughter really wants to be your boyfriend. There's like a middle school feel about it, you know. Will you please be her girlfriend?
Yes or no.
No. But yeah, so apparently, I guess in your future you're supposed to meet Mark Slaughter. I guess I don't know.
I wonder what he looks like now. I'd have to look that up.
He looks all right. He's holding
Does
up
he?
okay. Okay, you know. Under the eyes looks a little rough, but he's hanging tough. Okay.
A lot of us look pretty rough under the eyes. But as the alcohol and drugs over the years, some of these guys are rough.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. The last time that two of us dated was about almost 4 years ago.
January would make 4 years.
4 years that we were together, so dating would have been a little
Well,
over 4 years ago.
we dated for a week before we knew. We knew. We knew it was meant to be from the very beginning.
Oh, yes. That was a magical moment.
Yeah.
And Tegan was part of our...
Yes, I was part of that.
Oh, you know what? I was going to save this for later in the show, but let's get into the story.
Start out with it.
The story of how we met. Tegan and I were dear friends after she hated me.
I knew she was going to say that. I knew it. Like, I could have put money on that. Dang it.
So it went from extreme hate to extreme love pretty quickly.
Yes.
And so at the point where we loved each other, she had started a brand new job. This is after I left the radio station. And
No, this is before you left the radio station.
oh crap, it
We
was.
were still there.
It was right before I left the
before,
radio station. You were invited to a sex toy party.
Yes.
And you didn't want to go alone.
Yeah.
It was snowy and blowy that day.
It was terrible that night.
Whiteout conditions.
Absolutely.
And I, quite frankly, to be honest, didn't want to go because I didn't want to have to put any extra makeup on or re-shower or get dressed up. You were quite persuasive. So
Yeah, I can be that way sometimes.
yeah, you can. And it worked. It totally worked. So Tegan and I said reluctantly, yes, I'll go to the sex toy party. We pull into this beautiful house and I'm thinking, oh crap, look what I'm dressed in. I thought I was just going to be hanging out with all chicks. Now I'm going to this house. It's like almost like a mansion. Great. This is great. I go walking in. There's a sea of chicks that's to be expected at a sex toy party.
Right.
And I see a guy behind the bar.
That was me.
That was silly.
That was me. It was about a week and a half before the party. My friend Heather, who was hosting this party, put on Facebook, "Are there any people that are willing to bartend for it?" I was like, "Let's give it a crack." I said, "I'll do it." She goes, "Can you bartend?" I said, "By then, I'll be able to bartend." So we made it simple. There was 3 drinks that she says, "Come up with 3 drinks, and that's what we're going to serve." So the one was tequila sunrise, mojitos, and then sex on the beach.
And
Of
so,
course.
Oh,
Of course.
sex on the beach at a sex
Sex
toy
toy
party.
party.
Yes.
So I look at this guy and I think to myself, he belongs to somebody here because no man of his right mind would want to bartend at a chick's sex toy party.
Right.
So I'm looking for his other half. I'm looking around and I'm thinking, okay. I end up going up to the bar and
She had me at sex on the beach. Kind of a Jerry Maguire moment where, I said, "What would you like?" And she had her little head down and she had her little hands in front of her. And you could see she was a little, embarrassed or just shy. I said, what do you have? She goes, I guess, I have sex on the beach. So I tease her every once in a while and say, you had me at sex on the beach.
It's true. And I should have, initially, during the sex toy party, I didn't know anything about Sam. I didn't know what kind of guy he was. He will make a party no matter where he goes. So at this sex toy party, he's downstairs with us as the party's going on. And what's funny is for this party, we had on our shirts, each was clipped a half-naked man on our shirts.
Yes, even I had, to begin with, a half-naked man clipped on my shirt.
To begin with, and then he had half of our half-naked men clipped to his shirt. Yes. It was whoever had the most half-naked men attached to their clothing by the end of the party would win a prize. Well, he was knocking it out of the park. But anyway, as this party's going on, they were... one of the things that she sold was male pheromones.
Yeah, and one thing too though, like it's not just sex toys. So there was all sorts of things that Sammy was doing for us.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, it was an array of products. Wow, yeah. Yeah, we'll get there in just a minute. I'm getting flustered already thinking about it.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, with the pheromones, they're like, put these pheromones on and go around and let the ladies smell it. Well, I could tell that everybody kind of knew everybody else at that party, and I was the outsider. So when this guy comes up, and instead of just coming to the side or something like that to have me smell like he did with the other girls, he kind of straddles me and puts his neck against my nose. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting played. I'm getting played. Everybody's in on this. I'm the new girl, and I'm getting played. So I didn't think anything of it.
Lo and behold.
I know. And throughout the party, I not only got a chance to smell him, I got a chance to see him half naked.
Yeah, he was... During the game is going on, and every time that she would mention the company that she worked for, you'd say, hey, and you go and you can collect somebody's picture that they had posted on them. I was winning the game, and I was killing it. Only because everybody else was so interested in the products that she's displaying, I've got no use for any of those. Everything that she was putting up, I don't care about any of that stuff. So all these women are mesmerized about some of these toys, and I'm paying attention to every word she says, and I'm waiting for her to say it. Pow! I got another picture. So during that, Heather kind of sabotages my game and says, "Hey, why don't you go up and get some more drinks?" Because I think she didn't want me to win. So I was like, "All right, I'll go up there." So I go up, I get drinks, I bring them down. I went back upstairs for something, and Heather follows me up. She goes, "Here, the ladies want you to try these on." And they were camouflaged, sheer underwear. I said, I'll be right down.
Now, for those of you who have not met Sam would not be found on a Calvin Klein underwear commercial. Okay, Sam's
should be.
He's a real guy.
He's a real guy.
I'm very comfortable with my body.
Yes, but he's super comfortable. He's probably more comfortable than the Calvin Klein underwear guys. But that's part of the allure. I'm sitting here seeing this guy come down, and excuse my language, but I laughed so hard. He wears these next to nothing sheer camouflage boxer brief, and he's fluffing up his package as he's walking down the steps.
I had to impress.
So he goes down 3 steps, and I don't think he realized we could see, like, from the waist down what he was doing, but he's kind of pushing everything up to the front and fluffing it up. And I'm like, this is a guy with pizzazz right here. This is a guy that... So, yeah. So, so not only does he make me a great drink, but now I get a chance to smell him and see him half naked. And
3/4 naked. I'd say I was 3/4
solid
naked.
3/4. Dangerously moving into 4/5. So that's what happened there, and the actual party part itself's over, like the demonstration part of the party. So now we're back upstairs drinking drinks again, while you could go downstairs and order whatever products you were going to order. So Tegan and I, we're hanging out together, music's playing, fun, laughter, good times.
Yep.
I feel up on my rear end somebody dancing behind me. And there he is. And I'm thinking, he's messing with me. He has messed with me all night. He's messing with me again. So he goes and makes more drinks, and the next thing I know, I get a little wave. And so I'm not going to be rude.
No.
I mean, you got to wave back to the good-looking guy. So I waved back, and the next thing you know, he slides a napkin over to me, a cocktail napkin, with a phone number, a name, and a smiley
little
face.
smiley face.
Did you keep that? Do you have that somewhere? Oh.
No.
Oh. Poo.
No. Oh, now I feel really bad. I should have
Well, you
saved
don't have
it.
to feel bad. I just didn't know if you
Could have
kept
gave it
it.
to our kids and grandkids. A little memento.
Little memento.
This is how
This
you
is how
came to
you
be.
Came to be.
Yeah.
Before you were a twinkle in our eye, it was because of this cocktail napkin.
And anybody who's ever been around these two, like they have this insane connection that, you know, most people would love to have. They have the strangest connection, which makes it even better. Like they're freaking hilarious. There's never a time when it's been too serious, and these two were meant for each other.
It was great. Yeah, he slid the napkin, and Tegan and I are kind of like, is this really happening right now? And and then you're like, Nancy, what are you going to do? And I'm thinking for a minute, and so I grab a cocktail napkin, and I write my name and my number, and I slide it over to him. And it was kind of funny, because this ties in with the whole dating thing. I think Sam and I are both in agreement. At this period of time, now you were the married woman.
Right.
Sam and I are the single people. I had just got out of a really long, painful, horrific relationship, and my philosophy is, I looked at my co-host in my morning show at the time, and I said, screw this. I'm going to be like a dude. Well, what do you mean by that? I'm like, I'm going to love him and leave him. I'm like, we'll have a nice meal, yes. Maybe if it's good enough, we'll have a follow-up, but no relationship. That's it, I'm done. I'm just going to love him and leave him and play him and whatever. And that was working well. That was okay.
I was living that philosophy as well. At first, I was like, oh my God, I got to get somebody. I got to be with somebody. And then it was kind of like, well, no, I don't have to be with somebody. And I kind of given up.
Yeah. I met Sam that night, and we left the party. You and I left the party together, Tegan. I start heading home. I actually stopped at a grocery store before I hit the house, and my phone rings. And there it is. Sam's number. And we've been inseparable ever since.
Yeah, we've been a team ever since.
Yeah, you guys have been a good team.
I knew I was in big trouble, though, because as soon as I met him and I got his phone number that next day, I had to do... It was a Friday night party. It had to be a Friday night party because I had an air shift that next day on Saturday morning, and I did the normal thing that everybody does. What's the normal thing everybody does? They meet somebody. Normally, you find them on Facebook. Nowadays, it seems like, and you can stalk them before you meet them. Well, I met him, and then I had to Facebook stalk him. So I'm at work the next day, Facebook stalking him, and I'm thinking to myself, oh boy, I like this one. I haven't went on a date with him yet, but I really like this one. And one of my buddies from next door, in his studio, comes in and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Get back into your studio. Leave me alone." He's like,
None your business.
He's like, "Who is that on your Facebook page?" I'm stalking somebody, okay? He's like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "Just some guy I met last night." And he goes, "Oh my God." And I said, because I've been known, you got to understand, when I worked at the radio station, I was kind of known, I don't want to say the bully. I was always dominant, very dominant. I was a dominant figure. And this was the first time I think he saw me like this. He goes, "Oh my God." I said, "What?" He goes, "That guy." And I said, "Yeah, what about him?" He goes, "Are you smitten?" Get back into your studio. I start yelling at him. I'm like, "I'm not smitten." He's like, he shuts the door behind him and kind of like pokes open the door. "Smitten, you're smitten." I'm like, "Get out of here." And I sat there for that moment and I went, "Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think I'm smitten. Oh no." So yeah, from there we just started dating, and the next thing you know, we've been
Ever since.
inseparable. So now we're role reversed now. Sam and I are settled and in a relationship for years now. And now you, Tegan, are on the opposite end of things now. Yes. You're starting all over again. And tell us about that.
Like, I'm 40. Like, you know, obviously that's not, you don't end a relationship. Well, I shouldn't say that because people do. Relationships end when they don't work. And to put yourself back out there is absolutely terrifying. Like, I still say it. Like, I don't want to date. I don't like to date. It's hard. It's awkward. It's weird. You put yourself in a position because you don't, you know, you might not know this person, or maybe your friends know them, or, you know, you try going out and I think the key is not to try. Like, I think you just get, I think you need to be happy. I think
it works best when you don't try.
Yeah, absolutely.
For dating.
Yes.
You said something interesting, though, and I wanted to touch on that just real quick. You said the relationship just stopped working. Well, relationships stop working because either one party or two parties stop working.
Right.
I think a relationship is constant work.
Oh, absolutely. No, I totally agree. And when you get to the point where you're looking at yourself in the mirror and some things aren't changing for the better, you have to make a decision, especially like when you have children. Like, you can't be miserable. And like, I don't think you should just stop trying.
No.
But if you get to the point where you're practically begging over and over for something to change and it doesn't change.
Oprah Winfrey said it best. Oprah Winfrey said that in your life, and I don't take many quotes from Oprah, okay? But after every so many years, what you need to do is you need to take a look at the people in your life. And if they do not better you as a person, if they don't support you, if they don't make you, when you think of them, feel positive things, you need to do a clean house. Just like every season you clean out your closet and organize your closet, you have to do that with the people in your life. Because you want to keep people around that are spiritually uplifting to you, motivating.
Absolutely, you do.
And sometimes that even happens in marriages, sometimes, unfortunately. You and we crack jokes about being black widows because we've been through a few. But that's another thing, too, that I think people tend to forget is people will change throughout the years that they're in a relationship together.
Right.
Changes occur. Just as human beings, we would change. Even if you're single,
oh, yeah, and you grow.
5 years from now.
And it's a change. It's a growing process. It's, your different parts of your life. You started together without kids. You get kids and...
Sure.
The kids are smart enough. But like, I want to stay together for the kids. The kids get old enough and they get smart enough to know.
Oh, absolutely.
Mommy and daddy
are not happy.
They don't like each other.
Absolutely.
And then you have kids that start to think, well, maybe is it because of me, or they just nobody in the family is happy anymore. And I've met a couple people that the kids were thrilled after it happened.
Yes. Absolutely.
They're so much happier because mom and dad aren't fighting anymore. So, yeah, there's a little bit extra that's got to go into them seeing their mom or them seeing their dad, but everybody's a lot happier because of it.
And you've got to remember this too. These are our future adults.
Yes.
These are people that are going to base their entire framework and foundation of the relationships that they have when they're old enough to start dating. And whether they want to or not, part of what they're going to get influenced by when they make their decisions is what they've seen in their household.
Yes, I completely agree. And, we... Especially as girls, I'm really close to my dad, so of course I've looked for a lot of those qualities in somebody else.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, over the years, apparently I have bad taste.
Or bad recognition, though.
Maybe that's what it is. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But, it's you just to put yourself back out there after, you know what you want. Like, I know what I want. It's not that hard to try to be happy and to have fun and laugh and, look at the world the way I do. I go outside. This is going to sound like a bad dating profile.
God, here we go. Is it Wine Wednesday yet?
Stop. No, I like to look at the sun come up. I like to see the moon and the stars. Like, those are the things. I'm a very big advocate for animals and nature. Those are the things that I like. And I think sometimes people don't take time to appreciate that kind of stuff. And, like, that's the stuff that I kind of look at that makes me happy. So, I want somebody...
Tegan likes long walks on the beach.
I want somebody to be as big of a hippie as I am.
But that's okay. That's what you if that's what your goal is, that's what you should find. Yeah. And I want to touch back, too, about the kids and growing up with the kids. It can work and the influences in the home. I think we need to talk about this for an extra minute or two because it's something that weighs heavy on my mind. Sometimes based on the relationships that we see our mother and father have, say bad things have happened in your home. Unfortunately for the kids, sometimes as much as they want to fight it, they become it.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me. I was in a really destructive relationship, and my biggest fear was I had to get the kids out of that because I was afraid that as my boy got older, that he would learn to treat women the way that he had seen women be treated.
And
and then my daughter would meet somebody that was like that.
Yes.
That it was okay and acceptable to feel like less of a human being and less of a person.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's better to pull that plug and get on out of there.
I agree. If your significant other, if you can look at them and ask them, you know, would you want your son or daughter dating somebody like you? And if the answer is no, then that needs to change.
You need to change.
Yeah.
That needs to change, and you need to change.
Yes.
So dating, Tegan.
Ugh.
Where have we looked or found so far?
I've had some of my best friends suggest. So, you know, there's been blind dates.
Nice.
Which are always just weird. Like, you know, at least with today's technology, you can talk back and forth and figure out, like, what you like, what you don't like. You know, the dynamic of when you meet. It could either go very well or very bad. And then there's old friends that you could start relationships with that could either go either way.
It may not be the same people.
just may not be the same.
Life might have changed them
might have
along the
changed
way
them.
too. You know, you remember this person being a different person because life has changed them,
And
just
I
like
mean,
life
you know,
has changed you.
Right. I'm not young. Like, I'm not that I'm not young. I'm 40. It's not like I'm 20, you know, where you can just go out to the bars and like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go to the bar and sit and meet somebody, you know, to take them home because, like, I'm a mom.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to do, like, I am not a whore. Sorry, ladies. Really, you have to have a little bit of respect for yourself to not take home whoever and wherever.
This is coming from a guy, and I'll tell you how it is.
Okay, please do.
If you're looking for somebody in the bar and you sleep with that person the same night, the only reason you're getting a call back from me and my past experiences is for a booty call.
Yeah.
Look,
I don't respect you. I don't respect you at all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't respect you, and you don't respect yourself. Yeah, do some relationships start that way, but then you see them like, well, I can't imagine, you know, why they're like this, and it was there from the
Whoa,
beginning.
whoa, whoa,
From the
whoa. Let's
beginning.
take this back a notch or two. Hold up. I've been there. I've done that. When I went there, I wasn't looking for a Romeo to come and save me. I wasn't looking to have this whirlwind, hot, steamy night of sex.
But I think
then expect us to have coffee and raise grandkids together.
Right.
But
you know,
some more,
like-
you hear people complaining, both men and women, like, well, I can't find any. Well, you're not looking in the
you're not
right
looking in the
places,
right
or you're not
places.
looking
No.
at the right people.
Right.
Right.
Save the bars and the bar scene for if
In your 20s, for God's sakes.
no.
Yes.
No. Listen, full thought. Say that look,
Okay.
before I met Sam, we both had our
Bear, chicka, bear.
our runs. Look, I wasn't looking for love. I wasn't looking
Yeah.
for long term. Toot it and boot it. From what Sam
Toot
said.
it and boot it.
And that's what I thought I would be happy with.
Oh, no.
That's what I thought I'd be happy with, because at that time, emotionally, I didn't want to connect with somebody else
Right.
like that. And I knew if I would give that up the way I gave it up, not that I did it a lot. I better hurry up and rephrase that. But the encounters that I did have, it was just one of those deals that was out of necessity. You know, it was kind of a
Yeah.
primal thing. I'd be like, I'm at a bar, I'm drinking. I'm feeling a little bit horny, and you know what? You look all right.
You look okay.
You look okay. You know, I'm doing the scan. You know, with the alcohol scan, you go around. And you're like, okay, I don't really see STD written on you. You got a face I can work with. We're not going to talk for very long, so that's okay. I don't have to worry about you really stimulating the mind.
Yeah, being articulate.
I'm not getting your phone number.
Yeah.
We're not talking again. I think for that purpose, totally fine. But if you're looking to find a relationship,
Yeah, not at the bar.
look elsewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's part of the problem though. Like I think if you look too hard, it's never going to be okay. Like you're not going to get what you want. You're going to settle for something that's not what you really want and what you really need. So I think kind of starting out slow, at least from my point of view at this point, is, you know, what I need at 40 years old.
Have you tried any dating apps?
Yes, I actually have. And at first, like I was, because I never had before, you know,
Right.
like in your 20s and 30s, you go out and your friends have single friends, but as you get a little bit older, that it's another option. And of course, obviously, I wasn't going to go on Tinder because, for God's sakes, that's just
That's not a dating app. It's a hookup
that's
app.
A hookup
That's a
app.
hookup, yeah.
So I used Zoosk,
Been there, done that.
which 1 out of probably 20 I'm still talking to.
It could happen.
Yeah.
There could be love there.
I used back when I was single and before I met Nancy, I used Plenty of Fish. Yeah, it was just another dating app, and I met some people, and I traveled to Pittsburgh and everything else,
Yeah.
and it was just interesting, and I talked earlier about to the girls about this, and I always thought it was funny that whenever you're growing up and you talk to a girl, you get a girlfriend, and she's real skinny, and she's complaining about, oh, I'm so fat, I need to lose weight. That all goes out the door whenever you're using a dating app.
Yeah.
Just be truthful. If you're
Right.
big and you're curvy, say you're big and curvy. You are no longer, you're not average. So you should, and it happened to me. You show up and you're like, wow, they're, and I don't care. We still had a good time. I still had a good time. But you're a lot bigger than what you said you were going to be. So just
Right.
don't lie.
No.
Just
No,
be
you
who you
shouldn't.
are and celebrate who you are.
What's the point of lying when if you actually want to meet these people?
If you're right.
I totally said that I was curvy on the app.
I like
I
like curvy women. It's
Balls to
I'm
bone,
curvy. I've
be
got
who you
tattoos.
are.
I've got
Yeah.
crazy hair. I'm weird. I laugh. I love freaking DC and Marvel comics.
yeah.
I mean,
Look, I've been small. Believe it or not, at times I've been small throughout. It's been up and down with me as far as my weight. I've been small. I've been larger. I have never had problems finding dates.
yeah, see me neither. Like
Never.
we must have sparkly personalities.
I think it is balls to bone. We are who we are, and I feel that if you have the right qualities to give to the right people that are receptive of those qualities, I'm not saying that everybody has to be like you or like me. But what I'm
Right.
saying is find people with qualities similar to your own.
Yep.
Okay.
I totally agree.
Same interest as yourself, and I'm telling you, you will have great success.
Yes.
It's funny because during that brief window of time that I was out on the dating scene, you would laugh. Sam's going to be like, I'm tired of hearing this story. This is the first time for you, so to heck with Sam. My friends set me up on a blind date. First off, I didn't want to go out on the blind date that night.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, our friend such and such is coming along.
It's painful.
I went through that phase where after you break up with somebody where you might have that twinkling moment where you just want to hit the bar every night or two, or not every night, but like a couple nights or so where you just want to drink.
Right.
And you just want to have a good time and you just want to laugh. Well, it's been a while since I had been out with those friends and they're like, well, we're bringing a buddy. And I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, we'll bring him. But I'm not doing anything fancy. They're like, we wouldn't expect you to. I'm like, that's great because I'm not. So this poor guy comes, we're at the bar sitting there, and my friend's husband felt like doing shots that night. I said, you know what? I never get this opportunity. We're going to drink. Me and you. It's me and you, buddy. Mano y mano, we're doing these shots. And I just looked at the guy right before, no, this was before I started drinking the shots. So this wasn't drunk Nancy. I said, look, dude, I know they brought you here for us to be on some sort of a blind date. I'm telling you right now, I could care less if you have a good time or not. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time with my friends. If you have fun with me, that is fan-freaking-tastic. That's awesome. And the whole date went the rest of that way, or that whole meeting went the whole rest of the way. I had fun with my friends. I could have gave a crap less what he thought about me pounding down shots that night. I was having a good time with my friends. He put a kiss on me at the end of the night. I'm thinking, why would you do that? Like, I was such a jerk the entire time. But here's what I come to learn. I went out on a date one time where I ate wings. And I didn't girl eat wings. I didn't get a fork.
I love that.
I look like the Joker smile on both sides of my face. Not the whole time. I'm not a
Right.
complete Neanderthal. But I'm biting them. I got sauce on my face. I don't give a crap, dude. I don't care.
Yeah.
I was asked out on a second date. And I'm thinking to myself, because back in the days when you were younger, you go, oh my God, I have to eat salad the whole time.
Salad and water.
And I have to not breathe, and I have to not do this, and I have to be perfect. I have to be perfect.
It's annoying. Coming from a guy's perspective,
Yeah.
it's annoying. Just eat.
Yeah. And that's what I learned. I learned if I'm true to my obnoxious self that I am, and I just am who I am. So that's my dating advice for you. Like, if you got...
that's the conversation, that I've been having with this gentleman. Like, truly. Like, I'm a complete nerd. Like, we talk about all sorts of things that no holds bar.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Be who you are.
And I think that obviously makes you more comfortable. But this week I actually get to meet him.
Nice. We'll be rooting for you.
Yes.
Again.
You need your buns buttered.
Again.
My butt's funny.
So we won't talk about buttering buns anymore. We need to get you a date here. It's the funniest thing now with Sam and I could tell that very night that I really, really liked him. I did. I really liked him. And I hope that he wasn't with anybody that night. Luckily he wasn't. And here we are years later. I'm not generally a bashful person.
No.
I would almost bet if the scenario was different that fateful night, if Sam wasn't there and it was just our girls, just sitting all of us around, you'd have got a totally different Nancy. And I feel bad because I think part of him was deceived. I really, like, I can get bashful, but I was really bashful because I just thought he was.
And the cat's meow.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know. Well, even from my perspective, watching you, I was like, oh my gosh. It was slightly awkward for me because I was like, oh,
Who is this person
what
that
is
brought?
she doing?
But I do get bashful sometimes.
Well,
I do.
no, like obviously none of you could see this, but as soon as they started talking about, like her little cheeks got red.
I do. I get really bashful. I do. I get really
It was
bashful.
super sweet.
I don't get bashful about much.
Yeah.
No. I have moments though, like if Sam and I go out together at public places that I'm like parties or whatever, and I'm not familiar with the crowd, it takes a while for me to get real comfortable.
Yeah, for her to talk and everything else. But still, like I thought you were going to bring up the point, like even during our relationship now, if we go certain places or we have certain days, like we still both get butterflies like it's brand new sometimes.
Yeah, and that's good. I think that's important. You know, relationships, I don't know if you should ever get out of that dating stage. Like, you know, remember the important things. Remember the things that your significant other likes. Like those small things are so huge. So huge. Like remembering, you know, something that they like or something that they like to do. And actually, you know, making the effort.
Yeah.
It means so much. Like romance. Like people actually need to just continue the romance.
You do. And I think our question for today should be this. I really do. Do opposites attract? Because
I don't know. Like I've had both. I mean, sorry. That was a little
No, we're good. We're good.
I mean,
I've had plenty. Now, if you said I've had plenty of both, I've had truckloads of both.
I think there's an interest there. I don't know. Like if you guys don't have a common denominator in a lot of things, I think it makes it harder.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Sam is the male version of me.
Yeah.
And
You're the female version of me.
you.
Yeah.
You said it
Did I
right.
say it right the
Yeah,
first
you
time?
said it right.
I get old. You can tell I'm getting.
Yeah.
I need to take ginkgo biloba or something. Yeah, for memory.
Yeah, from memory.
Yeah, you
that
take
what it-
ginkgo biloba for memory.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Clearly, I need it.
I think people with the similar interests and similar hobbies and beliefs, and I think that's important. I
think so. I mean, because
The statement opposites attract, I think.
they attract, but I don't think they.
Well, I think it goes. It's still true. Not, the saying isn't complete opposites attract. Nancy and I are opposite enough on some things that it's still,
keeps it spicy.
Well, yeah,
keeps
you guys
it
challenge
spicy.
each other.
Right, we
Right.
challenge each other.
Yeah, but I mean, your core for you two.
Yeah.
I mean, good lord.
I know.
It's like they were
identical.
made out of the same cookie cutter.
We were, I think. Jerome Barnesboro. There's not really a big difference between those two.
Oh, I hate when she compares. I hate when she brings down Jerome to the level of
Don't you
Barnesboro.
even say that. Jerome would be thankful to be a Barnesboro.
They're still, listen, if we went to Barnesboro and then went to Jerome, they're still rocking mullets and IROCs in Barnesboro. And it's not an IROCs. You're getting an IROC. And it's not happening in Jerome.
That's
Jerome is
hilarious.
progressive. I love Jerome.
They've got what? $1 General? We got a Dollar General, Family Dollar, Subway.
That's
Boom.
because of all the single moms. See, they have to go somewhere to,
What?
To do what, Sam?
to shop.
To shop.
Okay.
Yeah, but dating isn't easy. It's not. Nobody. And I think sometimes you have to figure out yourself. Like you have to be happy with yourself to be able to successfully
I agree 100%. You don't want to mirror yourself. You need to fix yourself before you have somebody else come into the scenario, or at least have a really solid foundation, I think, a core of what you want, you believe. I don't think you should go looking for somebody else to try to save you.
No, and along the same lines is you got to like yourself before you can let anybody else like you, because you're not going to work hard, you're not going to do anything if you don't like yourself. Take time to discover yourself. If you're single and you've been in a relationship most of your life, take time, discover yourself, not just physically as
hey, there's nothing wrong with that either.
I love to discover myself.
These ladies are laughing. I'm trying to get all,
Okay, I'm
philosophical
listening.
here.
I can't let you. Keep talking.
They're perverted.
Please
Discover yourself both.
Oh, it says you who met your love of your life at a sex point party.
I just wish you'd stop saying discover myself. I'm like here at this table right now. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm serious. I promise.
You have to like yourself before anybody else will like you.
Okay.
Yes. I agree.
Do not try to find
A warm body.
a warm body or approval through anybody else. Approve of yourself first.
Yeah.
Become a person. You become your own identity. When you're with somebody for a long time, you're not yourself as you were before.
Right.
That person is gone now. You're not with that person. So you have to rediscover yourself and become a new person and see, hey, this is who I am and this is who I'm looking for.
Right. And, one thing that's nice about the fact that I have a child, and I think that's probably why a lot of things happened, I had lost a lot of who I was and who I knew I wanted to be. And I wasn't happy about it. She opened my eyes once again to so many important things that I used to love. And I was getting lost in not having those things in my life. So, she's my, I'm sorry, but you have to get approval from my kid to be.
They know.
Remotely.
That's what makes you a good parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's my number one. Above all else, even my vagina. So you can cut that out if you want to.
No, we're leaving that one in.
Cut, this is live. What are you talking about? I agree with all the points made so far. Sam is right. You need to figure out who you are and what you want. Now, with that being said, if you're still on that program or you're still trying to iron some things out, assess what went wrong the last time, think about you got to think about what your responsibility is too in failed relationships, because that's going to help you better yourself in future relationships. Like, say in a relationship you were being too submissive all the time and allowing these things to happen. You need to stop and go to yourself, okay, for future reference, I am entitled to my opinion. My thoughts are valuable. If I find the right person, they're going to appreciate what I have to say.
That's a big one, actually.
It's huge, yeah.
It's a huge one.
And in the meantime,
And there's nothing wrong with, when you're in a relationship and somebody makes you feel like your opinions are always wrong. That's tough.
That is tough. It'll change you as a human being.
Absolutely it will.
I was not this barrel of joy and laughs. Before my horrible relationship, I was kind of tra-la-la. I was kind of happy-go-lucky, a carefree spirit. After you get beaten down for a while and you try different things, you try crying, you try negotiating, you try giving it back and none of it's working, that starts to form scars and deep wounds within you, and it takes a while to heal from that.
It gives you a hard, crusty shell that
it does.
Needs to be broken down.
That's why I wanted for a period of time just to be a female whore.
Right.
I'm like, what's the big deal? At least there's no.
And it's very hard when you come off a relationship. It's very hard to even want to like somebody else because it could go either way.
Yeah, you're afraid of getting hurt.
Absolutely, you're afraid of getting hurt.
And that's why take the time to try to discover who you are and spend that time dating. Dating isn't a bad thing.
No, it's not.
It's not really. It's not good, bad, and ugly. It's really not. You begin to go. You begin to really hone in on qualities of other people that
Right.
you're looking for too. Yeah, it's interesting, and that's what scared me when I met Sam. Is I'd been out on quite a few dates, and I met some really nice guys. I mean, I met one guy in particular. We still talk off and on to this day. Super sweet guy,
Yeah.
sweetest man. I actually want us all to get together and sit down and have a drink together someday. Nicest, sweetest human being in the entire world. A dear, he's a good friend of mine. There just wasn't that compatibility there, but. I mean, there's a gem that I didn't have before. Another human being in my world that I appreciate. And I'm sure Sam can say the same thing. I'm sure in his encounters that there was people that he either learned something valuable from the experience or he gained a new friend and that helps you kind of piece it together for yourself too in the big scheme of things, what's going to work.
I agree.
I keep talking. I just figured I'd
Yeah.
be quiet for a second just to, that's when I knew I was in trouble when I met Sam. First off, there was just that instant. There was a definite.
See, she looks like that again.
I know.
It's so cute.
There was a definite chemistry there. And then when I got a chance to let my hair down a little bit more, and he started letting his hair down a little bit more, and we really started delving into the human beings that we are, we understood what that instant connection was.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Him and I are so alike. I know we said it before, but we're very much alike.
Yes.
We're both by nature alphas. Like, we're leaders, we're dominant, we're not afraid in circumstances to take reign and get it put together and make it happen.
Prefer to take the reins.
I would prefer, yeah. But it works. It's funny because when we're together and in our home and for major decisions, we both know when it's time for the other one to let certain decisions made. Like, if he says, well, this is what we're going to do, I know at that point in time, we're going to follow that plan.
Yeah.
And he knows if I'm adamant about something, we're following her plan. We
And
know.
that's respect. That's respect for each other's trusting each other and knowing that your decisions are going to be, good for all of you. It's not,
It's
you have
huge.
to have that. Absolutely.
We know what works for each other. We've really learned a lot of lessons over the years about each other, learning
You
to
guys
talk
have
to
been
each
through
other.
a lot too. I mean, you guys have been through crazy stuff over the 4 years that you've been together.
Death, doom, and destruction.
Yeah.
All of it.
And you guys have, maintained being a team and a family for these kids, and
It's huge.
It is huge.
I think we're still learning in our relationship.
of course.
Every day
I
it's
don't think
learning.
you should stop ever learning.
It's work. Every day
Yes.
we're working. Not that hard, I don't say, but I still say
Sometimes
this.
it's harder than others.
Sure.
It depends on whether I'm in a good mood or she's in a good mood. We all have our bad days.
Well, and it should be 50-50, but sometimes it needs to be 80-20.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely. And there's sometimes where I'll snap at her or she'll snap at me, and then we just look at each other like, it's not really worth it.
right.
Because I know in past relationships, you get in a fight with somebody, you're fighting with them, and then halfway through the argument, you don't even remember what started the argument. It's not worth it.
No, it's not.
That's something that had to be learned through our years in our relationship. He took more of a I've got to win stance on it.
Right. Through being in the military
Right.
and
Sure.
everything else, it was all or nothing with me. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna come out on top, and I don't care if there's casualties of war. I'm gonna come out on top.
Right.
And I'm saying that because I have no disrespect for that. That goes along with everything that he said. But I finally looked at him one day and I said, I can't even remember how exactly I put it, but I said, I'm not here to win this.
Yeah.
This isn't about whose set's bigger than the other one. I really want you to understand you've got your passionate feelings and I've got mine, and what can we do to make it meet in the middle? What can we do? Compromise isn't necessarily about making both parties happy.
Oh, no.
You'll probably be slightly pissed off.
Yeah, but that's
because you're not
okay.
getting everything that you
Right.
want.
But, I mean,
But you're both getting something.
right.
And that's what makes it work. And I'm really proud of him, because over the years we've gotten to the point where we're so harmonious when it comes to that. If we have an argument about something, and we never have major arguments about major things, we'll have a stupid argument, and we realized I really don't want to be mad at you.
Right.
I value you way too much.
Absolutely.
In the big scheme of our years ahead and our decades ahead and our future ahead, how significant and how important is this in the whole big picture? And it's worked for us tremendously. We've been going through a stressful time lately. Tensions are high. We've had little arguments here and there. And we're just about as quick to make up after they happen as we are the time spent having them. Like, we have this little spat, and I don't want to be mad at you.
Yeah.
And then Sam will say,
respect each other. I mean, it's not.
yeah. And he'll say the same thing back. I don't want to be mad at you. Okay. How about this? How about we give each other a hug? I know this sounds a little, what word do I want to use?
Corny.
Yeah, there's a good word. It says a little corny, but let's hug each other. Let's tell each other we love each other.
It may be corny, but it's working. It's
I
working
know,
for
absolutely.
And I don't remember half the
It
stupid
doesn't
little
have to be
things that we fight
difficult.
about. And that's another big thing, too, since we're talking about dating, love, relationships. Don't keep tabs.
No.
Seriously, don't keep tabs.
No, that is the worst.
No, don't keep. I know women like to keep tabs, but guys, if you're listening, don't repress everything that makes you mad and then decide to blow up
Yeah.
because of something little, and now you've just blindsided your significant other, and they're thinking, where is all this coming from? Because us
Yeah.
as guys, we don't like to talk about stuff. We're
No.
gonna, you know what? We're gonna repress it. We're gonna repress it. We're gonna repress it, and all of a sudden we're a volcano, and people don't know why we're blowing up like we're blowing up. Was
Right.
because we like to repress our feelings and everything else.
I mean, I think communication, even if it's having an argument, is so important. Like, you can't be in a relationship with somebody who gives you no emotion whatsoever, because that almost, like, at least in my in my case, it makes me almost want to fight more just to get the reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any emotion about this? Do you care about this? Do you not care about this? Like, if you get nothing all of the time, that is like beating your head off the wall.
And you almost feel like you're giving 100% and they're not contributing anything.
Anything.
I'm glad that he said about that, about talking about it. You want to be happy too, guys.
Yeah,
You have
absolutely.
you don't dismiss your feelings. Don't dismiss what's important to you just because you want to keep the peace, because you're not going to keep the
No.
peace. That's going to lead to divorce right there,
Absolutely,
or separation.
it is, and it is just. I mean, it's important for you to, both of you, to make each other happy. Like, it's a double.
Absolutely. And there's right times to talk about those things. I probably ask Sam more than I should, are you okay? Is there anything that we need to talk about or anything like that? I'll ask him that frequently. I just don't want it to be where we, for the most part, fight pretty nicely compared to most other people.
We do.
I was in a relationship before where you you sling that mud.
Yeah.
And even then it proved fruitless. I mean,
Absolutely.
if you love the person that you're with, and more importantly, if you respect the person that you're with, truly respect them, seeds can be planted by hurtful words. Seeds can be planted that will continue to grow in the heart
Yes.
like weeds,
Right.
and they never go away.
No, they don't go away, and you suffer from them even after the relationship is ended.
Choose your words wisely during a fight. Very carefully
Yes.
during a fight. You might be upset. Do you want to win this fight, or do
Yeah.
you want to keep a relationship? What
Right.
do you want to do?
I totally agree.
So choose your words wisely. And there's always good times, like for guys, there's always good times where you can just catch us and just have a conversation about things with us without it having to turn it into an argument. Hey, well, what do you feel about this? Or can we talk about this? I felt lately that, this has been going on, or I felt this way. It might sound corny to begin with, but it actually works
No, it
very
absolutely
well.
should. Yes.
Sam and I have had a lot of relationship conversations over the years about what we want, what we desire, where our goals are, where our focuses are. Do we feel like we're getting everything that we need?
And you should have those conversations.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you're both, in a good relationship, you're both working towards the same things.
Absolutely. And never take another person for granted either.
No.
Say thank you.
Absolutely.
It's always nice too to even once a day just tell them about something they did the day beforehand or that morning or something like that you really appreciated from them.
Yep.
It takes 2 seconds out of your day to say something nice to your significant other, but it makes their whole day.
Absolutely, it does. I say
know.
that word a lot, but I mean, it does.
You say, hey, thanks for doing this, or you look nice today, or just say something appreciative towards them, and it took you a minimum amount of effort to do that, but they're thinking about that the whole day long.
And during those times where you might need to have those tough conversations, think of a way to say it too where it's not so insulting. Like, for example, I've been reading a lot of articles and things like that off and on. I love reading articles about relationships and things like that. Say you're with somebody you love them to death, and say in the bedroom things need to change or things get stale or...
Clearly she's reading Cosmo articles.
No. That was back in my 20s. I read different articles now as I get older.
I'm just picking.
But don't tell them what they've done wrong. Tell them what you like.
Yes.
Don't make them feel bad for the things that they don't do. Talk to them about what you'd like to try. And that can be exciting.
Well, of course it can.
That can be exciting. That can generate some pretty hot, steamy encounters and things. Just having that conversation.
Yes. And I mean, you should talk to each other about that stuff. It's important.
And women, please coach your guys as well too. And what I mean by that is, if I don't, we're turning this into a sex talk now, but my mind generally goes there. But when you're in the bedroom with somebody, and if they're doing something that you greatly appreciate, acknowledge that appreciation.
Yes.
Whether it be, boy, I'm really, if you can get words out, if you can form sentences, if you can't, just go Neanderthal and just grunt or groan or whatever, but let them know that you appreciate what's happening. And I guarantee you, especially for men, it's about ego.
Oh, sure.
They want to feel like they are. Am I wrong?
Oh no, it's true. Yeah, we want to know that we're slaying it, and whenever
It's like
whenever whenever that happens, and it makes it amazing for both partners, then because I'm going to put in extra effort, and then
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that goes with the next conversation the following day. I know this is TMI, but for Sam and I, we might have a recap conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
On, after any great professional sports is played, you have to have a recap. And so we might,
and that's exciting. Like that's one of the that's one of the fun things about being a couple.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I really liked that winner. We really knocked it out of the park last night. It makes you both feel good, and it gets you
Sure it does.
tingly and stuff like that, and.
Makes me so excited to go home by myself tonight.
Oh, no. Don't say that.
I'm just picking on you.
You know what, Tegan? I really feel, I'm saying this, but I don't want to do it.
Oh.
You're in a situation where you have to do this. Now, I don't want to date again. I don't envy the position that you're in. I don't. Okay. Dating to me, I like the process of going out on dates.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Right.
I think we all can agree that the excitement of dating's fun. But trying to
work it out,
kiss or sleep with those frogs and toads and try to figure out which one's the prince out of all of it, heck with that crap. I'm done with that.
That's why it's like this time it's really tough. At least, with my first marriage, we were both young. We got married. We were together for 10 years. We were young and, just trying to figure ourselves out. And, that ended. And the in between those two, I dated a lot. And then
you slept around a lot.
That is not what I said. I said I dated a lot. Doesn't mean I put any notches in my bedpost.
Sure, I'm sure you didn't.
But, my second marriage, we had a child together. And I was at, a better place. But, that didn't work out. So now, I'm 40 years old. It's so much different.
It is different, but I don't necessarily think it's bad different.
No, I don't think it's bad. Like, it's
foreign.
Oof.
Foreign to you, yeah.
Yeah, big time. Because I am a relationship person. I like to have that comfort. And I'm out of my comfort zone. I like to be in a relationship. And that's probably not, maybe that's my problem.
That you like to be in a relationship.
Yeah. I need to just chill out for a while, I guess. I don't know.
Have fun, relax, be cool. And the great thing is you're in your 40s. At this point, ladies, in your 40s, we are at our sexual peak. We have been through a few rodeos. We know what we like. We know what we want, so we can check that off the list.
So, Sammy, I need to go out and slay it?
No. I don't think that's the answer.
I I know it's not because I would hate myself.
Yeah. It's just, in any relationship, whether you're a male or a female, you just got to remember, even if it's a new relationship, and new relationships tend to be better because everything is new and exciting.
Right.
Be celebrated and not tolerated.
Yeah.
Whenever you find yourself tolerating the other person, it's time to look on to maybe finding a new person.
Right.
You need to be celebrated and not tolerated.
Oh yeah, I love your face.
I love your face.
Every day. I love your face. But no, I don't think you're at a disadvantage. I think you're at a good age. I think you're at a good age where versus your 20s, you have a better sense of self. You have a better sense of who you are, a better sense of what you're looking for. I think that's a bonus. I think people this late in the game, I think the right ones are... Jerry Maguire said it best in his movie. Like, or one of the characters
We're
of
going to
Jerry
quote
Maguire.
Jerry Maguire twice in this.
Oh, are we?
I said, well, from you had me at hello, and I said you
That's
had me at Sex on the Beach.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. No, they're talking about single parents, but I think this applies to people in their 40s and above too. You've already been to the circus. You've already seen the clowns and the cymbal clanging monkeys, and you've already seen the whole show.
Right.
And I think for you that it works out best that way because you're going to find another person that has been through it all, done it all. I don't want to play all these games. I don't want a dog and pony show. I just want to meet somebody that I'm going to have a connection with and continue to build the rest of my life with. And I think that changes when you get older. I think in the 20s, you don't know who you are. You don't know what you want. You don't know who you want it to be with. I think you look at the wrong attributes and the wrong, sometimes, list of priorities.
Right. It's a little bit more selfish.
It is.
It is, and I was going to touch on that also, is it might take you a little longer now, Tegan, to find Mr. Right or Mr. whoever's going to be. But you're going to make better decisions now because it's not just a decision for you. You have a kid that you have to make the decisions for also.
Right.
And it might be tough, like, I can't find anybody. But it's because you're trying to make the right choices for not only your life, but for your daughter's life.
I want to take the next several minutes to ask some just...
Ooh, they're coming. You should see the glint, the twinkle in that eye.
Just some quick questions, and I think just give some quick answers out on them. Let's go back to before. Very first answer. What do you think is the best way to find a date? What's the most effective way to find a date, do you think?
I think even if you are going out to the bar or if you have true friends, just let it happen naturally. You just start, if you talk to somebody, you start liking somebody, go out on a date with them, see what happens. Don't force yourself into going on a date.
Yeah, that's no good.
And what do you say?
I agree with Sam. I think you just kind of let it happen.
Yeah. Don't go searching for it. You'll find it in the most unlikely places.
When you're not looking anymore on a cold, snowy, winter sex toy party night.
There it is.
It comes and it will find you.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Dating etiquette. What do you feel on the first dates the best way to go as far as the date is concerned?
I'm old school. I'll pay for the male has to pay for it.
Okay.
Is that where you're getting from?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't see you going Dutch. On the first date, I'm old school. The man's gonna pay for it. And you can even appease her, as far as I'm concerned. Like, oh, you know what? You can pay next time. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll pay next time. There is no paying next time. You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay after. I pay every time.
Okay, what do you think?
Well, I think that's. I don't know, because it's hard for me to answer. Because what if I ask that person out?
I was going to go there with that.
Yeah.
If I ask somebody out on a date because I'm being the aggressor in it and I'd like them to take the opportunity to have, I'm assuming still yet I'm kind of like we should maybe at least go Dutch. Now, I'm looking to see too though if you're going to be a gentleman and at least offer to pay for me. For sure. If the guy asks me, I think that he should pay.
Yeah.
If I'm the one that's the aggressor, I'd at least like him to offer, but I'm okay with Dutch. Will he be successful after that? It just depends on how great of a date we had, I guess. I don't know. There's some subtleties there. Okay, so you're dating.
Yes, my friend.
You're dating.
Yes.
When's the best time? When do you think time frame for first kiss?
I don't know. First kiss usually the first date. I mean, I'm okay with a kiss on the first date.
You're gonna do that. Sam didn't kiss me on our first date.
Really?
No, well, she went through the whole long spiel. It's like, well, I don't like people touching me, and I'm very,
Oh, well, yeah, that obviously puts you on the,
It puts me, yeah. So she got a hug, and mind you,
Sammy gives the best.
I was gonna say I'm one of the world's greatest huggers. Okay,
He is.
whenever I hug you, you feel the love.
You feel the love. It's just like his food. He gives you a hug. You are just so loved. Best hugger ever.
So it wasn't a kiss, but it was the best hug in the world.
Okay, I blew it. I was trying to get to subtly let him know that I don't allow most people. I'm not good with hugs and kisses or anything like that unless I really like you.
Yeah.
Unless I really like you. I was giving him doe eyes and everything else at the front door going, yeah, that's a lovely hug. You're going to surprise me and turn around and come back and smooch my face, aren't you?
No, peace out.
Peace out, sauerkraut.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it worked. It obviously
worked out.
worked
We
very
did
well.
kiss on the second date, though, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long after you start dating somebody do you have sex?
Well, don't ask me that. I can't help it. Like oh dear Jesus. I like
to sleep
hugs.
with people. I like to have sex.
such a
I'm
jerk.
teasing it. I like to have sex. No,
Like,
it's okay.
Who
You're
doesn't?
human.
Like, I'm human.
It's all right.
There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with having sex.
Gotta test
Like,
drive
I
the
don't
car.
think.
Yeah.
What did you do?
gotta kick the tires.
Oh my God, you guys are terrible. No, but like I think if that's part of it, like you have that attraction, and I have slept with somebody on the first date.
That's fine.
Clearly, it doesn't work out very well.
And where is that?
So
Where's that relationship at now?
Yeah,
Tegan.
about that. Don't do it, ladies. Just don't.
No, the funniest thing ever is if I don't like you, I'll probably sleep with you on the first date.
Maybe that's what it is.
If I don't like
Clearly.
you, I will sleep with you on the first date.
Because it will kill it.
I just really don't
Yeah.
care. Like, I don't care if we have a
I
second
know.
date.
I think, yeah. Maybe that's what.
You know, no, not like a blind date or weird stuff like that, but like if we've talked for a little bit, we go out on a
Yeah.
date, and I'm like, you know what? We can move this from dinner to coffee. That's
Yeah.
fine. I don't have a problem with that. Or dinner to nothing, really.
Nothing,
Or
really.
we can, you know.
Yeah.
But if I really like you, which I don't know why, isn't that a weird, sick, twisted
That
philosophy?
is.
No, not really.
It's kind of like the going to the bars.
Yeah.
And like if you're the chosen one that night, and I've got the right itch, you
Yeah,
might be
you might be
you
it.
might be the chosen one. It's kind of one of those deals for the day to be like, you know what, I had a nice date with you. Chemistry's not quite there intellectually, like maybe we weren't compatible in that way, but
Yeah.
you're definitely doable. I'd be
Right.
like, all right,
Yeah.
all right, let's go.
Like I think in like at least in my case, I know we.
It's going to be a little longer
a little
episode
little
today.
longer. You know, if I give you my heart, I mean that's a lot bigger than
Your vagina.
yes. I'm sorry. Like I know that's terrible, and it probably makes me sound horrible. But like,
No.
if you've got my heart, then you're gonna be treated very well.
What are your thoughts on this?
And I know that's not the way it should be, but
I already said if you want to continue a relationship, if you really like somebody, you're not going to find out on a first date
Right.
by just sleeping with them because
and I agree with that.
yeah, and it's you gotta when it's right with the right person.
Yeah.
I think and
Like so what if you've been talking to this person for weeks?
then I don't. If you've been talking with them, I mean, if you're going to justify you sleeping with this guy coming up, we'll justify you sleeping with this guy this week for the first meeting. Okay.
No.
You get to know somebody, you get to like them and everything else. Are you going out on your first date? Yes, but do you know each other better than if it was just a first date or
Right.
first meeting? Yeah, you know each other better.
Yeah.
So it's kind of different than just going on a first date. Like,
Right.
oh, hey, I'll pick you up on Friday at 7:00 and not talking again.
Yeah.
To hey, texting and calling and
But
everything.
how do you
else.
know? How do you know? Until you see a person's face when they share that
Yes.
conversation with you, how do you know they're
Well, yeah, and I
they're
mean that's
playing you or they're genuine? Because you
Right.
can have there's Romeos. Oh yeah,
I
there's
know, but
Romeos, and then once Romeo gets and takes that chastity belt off, and
True.
slays the dragon, that doesn't mean Romeo's still gonna be
Yeah.
Romeo after
Yeah,
that.
no. I've been through those too.
Yeah, I would disagree with that. I now it's funny,
But I'm not going out there like intentionally to sleep with him.
right? We're gonna get ready to wrap this up because our dog needs to go to the bathroom. We might as
That's
well.
a true story. He's
It
pacing
is.
back and
He's
forth.
pacing back and forth. But with that being said, look, yeah, it's true. If I really, really like you, I will wait. Sam and I waited for a little bit. Now we did have conversations about it, but we waited for a while. And I think it's a woman's philosophy. If I don't care about you, I don't care. I don't care.
Don't
I don't
care,
care.
right.
But if I really like you, I don't want you to think that I'm just placing value just on sex. I want
Right.
you to really like me, and I want to show you that I'm a good girl, as good as I can be. So anyway, Wags is our timer for today, our dog.
So the question of the day, remember, is
Do opposites.
do opposites attract?
Yep. All right, and be sure to catch us tomorrow for yet another episode of
Too large in a Sarge.